Hello and welcome in our YouTube channel Metallurgical Facts. So this is GATE Metallurgy Practice Series, and this is basically part ninth of this video series, and we are doing metallurgical engineering question practice for GATE Metallurgy for GATE 2021. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are preparing well for your GATE exam. And at the same time, with this series, we are trying to cover important topics for GATE Metallurgy in separate videos, topic wise. Okay, so if you have any problem in GATE Metallurgy questions, you may try to contact us through Instagram page, and also you may send your questions there so that we can include those questions in our upcoming videos. So the first question is that what is meant by nil ductility transition temperature, that is NDT. Okay, so about this nil ductility transition temperature I have told you in previous video also, but here I will tell you that what is this nil ductility temperature, nil ductility transition temperature. Okay, so this NDT is basically a transition temperature where fracture becomes where fracture becomes, you may write down these important points in your notebook. Okay, so fracture becomes 100% cleavage. Okay, this is the point where this is the temperature where fracture becomes 100% cleavage, means 100% brittle manner. Okay, so the fracture will be in brittle manner. Okay, so below this NDT, you may write down next point like that. Below this NDT, nil ductility temperature, probability of probability of ductile fracture probability of ductile fracture is negligible. Okay, so it means that the fracture will be cleavage type, that is brittle, that is brittle fracture basically. Okay, so here they have given four options: metal get transformed from brittle to ductile phase. So this is basically wrong part, because I already told you that this is the point where ductile where the fracture becomes 100% cleavage, means ductile, the metal gets transformed from ductile to brittle phase at this temperature. Okay, so this B part is that metal gets transformed from ductile to brittle phase. So this is the correct answer for this question. Okay, and the other options are wrong. Okay, and the next thing is that one more thing is that FATT, this is FATT is basically fracture appearance transition temperature. This FATT is basically known as fracture appearance transition temperature. Till now they did not ask question from this fracture appearance transition temperature, but they may ask. Okay, so at that temperature the fracture will be 50% cleavage, 50% brittle, and 50% ductile. Okay, so meaning of this cleavage and ductile is brittle is same. Okay, so 50% cleavage and 50% ductile at this fracture appearance transition temperature. So this is FATT. So this is also important point to be remember for future questions. Okay, so here B part is correct answer for this question. So the next question is, which one of the following can avoid weld decay of austenitic stainless steel? So this weld decay is basically a type of corrosion that is known as intergranular corrosion. And this intergranular corrosion basically happens in this stainless steel, that is austenitic stainless steel. Okay, so in this question they are asking how we can avoid this weld decay. So there are four options: reducing carbon content, increasing carbon content, eliminating strong carbide formers, and decreasing chromium content. Okay, so these are the points here, how we can avoid the weld decay in the austenitic stainless steel. There are three ways of avoiding this weld decay or intergranular corrosion in this austenitic stainless steel type. Okay, so the first is that by reducing carbon content. Okay, so this is the first point: by reducing carbon content or carbon level in stainless steel, that is SS, in stainless steel to less than to less than 0.05%. So this is the carbon level which up to which we can reduce the carbon content in stainless steel. So this is by this way we can avoid the weld decay in austenitic stainless steel. The other thing is that by quenching of stainless steel from high temperature, from very high temperature, to to prevent chromium carbide precipitate. Okay, so this is the other way of avoiding this weld decay. Okay, so so by quenching of stainless steel from high temperature to prevent chromium carbide precipitate, this is another way of avoiding this weld. So the third point is that that by adding strong by adding strong, that is strong carbide formers. Okay, so this is carbide formers or carbide forming elements in uh, in this steel. Okay, in this stainless steel, like niobium, we can mix we can alloy niobium and titanium, so that this niobium and titanium will react with the carbon, and the carbon will not remain for reacting with that chromium, so that it will not form Cr23C6. Okay, so this is the carbide formation at the grain boundary, and this is basically the reason behind this intergranular corrosion or weld decay. Okay, so these are the 3 points you should remember, that these three ways, by using these three ways, we can avoid the weld decay or intergranular corrosion. Okay, so the first option is reducing carbon content. So this is the correct answer. Reducing carbon content up to 0.05%. Increasing carbon content is wrong. So the next thing is that eliminating strong carbide formers. So here I have told you that by adding strong carbide former, we cannot eliminate strong carbide formers for avoiding weld decay. So this is also wrong. Decreasing chromium content. So this is also wrong, because there is certain limit for making stainless steel of that chromium content. So we cannot not play with this chromium content in stainless steel. Okay, so the correct answer and most appropriate answer is A part, that is reducing carbon content up to 0.05%. Hope you have understood this concept. Please write down these things so that you can do the questions they may ask in exams. Okay, so this question you may find in MSQs type of also. Okay, so this is very important question for MSQs type. So the next question is matching type of questions, and here group first contains some alloy names and group second contains some elements. Okay, and we need to match these alloy names listed in group first with the main elements present in them listed in group second. Okay, so these are the four options they have given. Okay, so for matching type of questions, I already told you that you will always use this way, that is PQRS, and you will find the odd one or the one which about which you know. Okay, so suppose if you don't know about anyone, so you may try with anyone. Okay, so here I know about this Babbitt metal. Okay, so what is this Babbitt metal? Babbitt metal is basically here I'm writing Babbitt metal. Babbitt metal is basically alloy composition of this tin, antimony and copper. Okay, so this is a straightforward question, there is no concept behind this. So you may remember this list, and so that if they will ask in exam, you can do this question. Okay, so Babbitt metal is basically a alloy of tin, antimony and copper. So P we can match by 4. Okay, so this is the Babbitt metal here. Okay, so next is Munds metal. So Munds metal is very important metal. Okay, so Munds metal is basically a alloy of copper and Zn. Okay, but here copper and Zn ratio is 60 and 40 ratio. Okay, but when this ratio will go up to 70/30, so that will be brass. Okay, so this brass is also copper and zinc alloy, and this Munds metal is also copper and zinc alloys, but this composition is 60/40 in Munds metal, but 70 and 30 in brass. Okay, so Munds metal we can match by this CuZn. So Q we can match through 3, and the next one is Invar. This is also very important alloy. So Invar is basically FeNi. Okay, so this is Fe and nickel alloy. So R we can match by 1, and the last one is Inconel. Okay, Inconel alloy is also very important for metallurgical aspects also. Okay, so this is basically nickel, chromium and Fe. So nickel, chromium and Fe is 2. So what is our code? 4312. We can match this question 4312. So 4312, the options which is starting other than this 4, we can cross, like A and B we can cross. For C we can check, that is 4 1, but we are having 4 and 3, so we can cross this option also. So D part is correct. Okay, so here I am telling you about some other alloys also. So please try to write down, that is nichrome, nichrome. If I will get time for preparing this list, so I will send it on our telegram channel. Please try to join our telegram channel for this type of short notes. Okay, so 8020 nickel chromium is nichrome wire, which is used in heating element. Okay, the next alloy is bronze alloy. They may ask in next future exams. Okay, so CuSN is basically bronze metal. Okay, and in this that SN content is 12%. Okay, so whenever this 12% will extend up to 20 to 25, that bronze will be known as bell metal. Okay, so this is the point you can remember, that Munds metal is similar to the brass, that is CuZn, and this bronze is similar to the bell metal. Okay, just composition difference is there. Okay, so this is the important point here. And the next one more important alloy is German silver. So they may ask this question also, how much silver content in this German silver. So you may answer like that, 0% content of silver in that German silver. Only name because of that appearance of this alloy, that is known as German silver. Okay, so this German silver is basically alloy of CuZn and nickel. Okay, so this is the alloy composition of this. So the next question is, which one of the following processes is performed for inclusion modification in ladle metallurgy of steel making? Okay, so four options are aluminum wire injection, calcium wire injection, oxygen top blowing, and the other one is oxygen bottom blowing. So the first option is aluminum wire injection. So this is basically used for deoxidation purpose. Okay, so this is used for deoxidation purpose. And calcium wire injection is basically used for inclusion modification. So inclusion modification is basically a part of secondary steel making. Okay, and this is used for producing clean steel, and this is also used for removing of silver. So removal of sulfur. So removal of sulfur can also be done by inclusion modification. Calcium wire injection. So by calcium wire injection we can do the inclusion modification, and also we can remove the sulfur content in steel. So oxygen top blowing and oxygen bottom blowing is basically a type of blowing of oxygen in furnaces. Okay, so there is no meaning of these options, so here B part is correct for this question. Okay, so there are two works of this calcium wire injection, CWI. So inclusion modification, and the other one is removal of sulfur. Okay, so these are the two works of this calcium wire injection, and this calcium wire injection is basically secondary steel making part. Okay, so B part is. So the next question is NAT type of question, and this question is basically from previous year GATE. So the question is, deoxidation of liquid steel with ferrosilicon produces spherical silica particles. The particles of 5 μm diameter, means D1 is given here, that is 5 μm. Okay, take 3000 minutes, that is T1. T1 is 3000 minutes here, to float up through a 2 2 meter height of liquid steel. Suppose this is the 2 meter height of liquid steel, and in this 2 meter of steel there is a particle that is float up of at 2 meter, which is having diameter of 5 micron meter. Okay, so next line is that for particle of 50 micron meters, means D2 is also given, that is 50 micron meter diameter, to float up through the same height, means for the same height what is the time required, that is T2. Okay, so this is simple question, this is simple GATE aptitude question. Okay, so you can apply the formula and you can find. So here we need to assume Stokes law. By assuming Stokes law, okay, so this is very easy question, Stokes law. So what is Stokes law? Stokes law is basically that is velocity, that is terminal velocity is directly proportional to the diameter of that particle. Okay, so this is the relation between this velocity and this diameter of particle. Okay, so here velocity is basically height and time. Okay, so h by t. So h is constant everywhere, so time is not constant. Time they have given for two particles. Okay, so we can find similarly. So here, from here we can find the relation like that, h by t proportional to d square. Okay, so this is the formula. we are having. So there are two cases. This is the first case, this is the second case. We can put the values like that: d1 by d2 whole square is equals to t2 by t1 by this relation, by this equation. Okay, so we will get this equation, and we can find, we can put the values like that. d1 is equals to 5 micron meter, that is 5 into 10 power minus 6 in meters, and d2 is 50 micron meter, that is 50 10 power minus 6 whole square is equals to t2. T2 is not given, t2 we need to find, and t1 is 3000. Okay, so this is very simple question for you. You can find easily that t2, so t2 will be equals to 3025 by 2500. Okay, so this will get cancelled and you will get answer like that: t2 is equals to 30 minutes. Okay, because we did not change the unit of this minutes, this t1 time, that's why we need not to change the unit here also. Okay, so and also in this question they are asking any minutes, so the answer for this question is 30 minutes. Hope you understood this question. This question is very very important. Just you need to assume this Stokes law, because particle is floating in liquid still, so we can assume this Stokes law, and we can similarly we can use our aptitude, simple aptitude, and we can find the relation between this h by t with this diameter, and we can find the question. Okay, so 30 minutes is correct answer for this question. Thank you guys for your attention. Hope you have understood these concepts, hope you have understood these questions, and also we will come with some more questions in our upcoming videos. Please have some patience, because I have already many works to do. So in between these works I will try to upload more and more videos as much as I can do before the GATE exam. So please try to focus on your studies and try to prepare for GATE exam, which is after 1 month. Okay, so thank you, and subscribe our channel and press bell icon for getting notification. Thank you.